They have an aging product lineup, and really nothing new on the horizon in terms of new models.
And that sort of helps you see through some of the noise. So we've made real progress in terms of the overall material cost structure on the vehicles.
He cuts to the quick, first principles thinking, and surrounds himself with brilliant people.
This is going to be known as probably the best strategic bet that Musk ever made.
All that and more. So let's get to it. Tesla stock is down in the pre-market a little over 0.5%. Is today the day TSLA becomes a $1 trillion market cap company again? Will it be able to maintain these 52-week highs?
Is this going to be enough to turn things around for Nissan?
Probably not. I mean, we've seen signs for a while now that the automaker has been in trouble. They have an aging product lineup, and really nothing new on the horizon in terms of new models. And of course, the sales environment is very tough. They also took on the strategy of sort of boosting incentives in the U.S., and that's really cut into their sort of cost base. And so really, all of this has been building, and now we've seen sort of the consequences of that. And so they're going to try and turn things around. They appointed a new chief performance officer, a cost-cutting plan. And really the big question is this going to be enough? Are they going to be able to really kind of right the ship going forward?
Not a lot of love lost for Nissan, considering it is the vehicle that rear-ended me. But you will see more of the legacy auto manufacturers, foreign and domestic, going this route. It's happening in Europe. You see it with this Japanese auto manufacturer. And in a couple of years, it will be painfully obvious that the auto manufacturers here in the United States are going to need to trim on down. Rivian just dropped their earnings. Let's check on the startups.
Shares are moving between gains and losses after a miss on the top and bottom lines. The loss per vehicle was nearly $40,000 per car. That's versus about $30,000 per car in the same quarter a year ago.
RJ, it's good to be down here in Normal, Illinois. Look, Morgan set it up there. You guys had a wider than expected loss in the third quarter. You guided to a wider than expected loss for the year. You're trending in the wrong direction in terms of loss per vehicle. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, this is our core focus is on driving towards profitability. We talked about our objective of getting to positive gross margin in Q4. Q3 is really a hard quarter to see through a lot of the noise. We just made a big change over to our second generation of our R1 vehicle. And so there's a lot of costs associated with changing out roughly half of the bill of materials as measured by cost. And so as we brought on new suppliers, there's expenses associated with that. We also had a supply chain shortage as part of this ramp up, and that really hurt us in terms of our overall output for the quarter, which affected us in terms of fixed cost absorption across all the different vehicles. But we remain optimistic around overall performance, and looking at Q4, we've continued to guide towards positive gross margin.
How do you get there? How do you get to positive gross profit in Q4 after the losses we've seen?
It's been a tough year for RJ Scaringe and all of the startups, to be honest, but now we've got a new administration coming in. The IRA, that's going to probably be a thing of the past. That does not bode well for RJ Scaringe and Rivian, especially when they start trying to build other factories. For every Rivian that they sell, they're losing $40,000, when a year ago it was merely $30,000. That's not going in the right direction. I hope that they can get to gross profit margin positive by the end of Q4, but it's seeming less and less likely. It will be hard to maintain it in the quarters to come. Best of luck to Rivian. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things when you've got so many different changes, we've talked about how do you sort of decipher that and look through the noise to see what's the real signal. The thing I'd call out is if we look at Q4 of this year, so this quarter, relative to Q1 of this year, and look at the difference in our material cost for the vehicle, we're 20% lower in Q4 than we are in Q1. And that sort of helps you see through some of the noise. So we've made real progress in terms of the overall material cost structure on the vehicles. And then, of course, we're continuing to drive efficiency improvements into the plant. We're continuing to drive progress in terms of the quality of the plant and the hours per unit.
It seems like the market thinks Elon having a foot in the door of the White House is going to help Tesla. What do you think?
Where do we start? Elon Musk, he's a very interesting guy, a genius for sure. Definitely emerged winner again yesterday from all this. at least in the short term. And, his relationship with President Trump could be very beneficial for the firm in the long term. And the company could benefit either way if Trump goes ahead and, does what he says for the EV industry by removing subsidies and making it hard. Tesla would win because it's one of the biggest companies that could withstand and benefit from such regulations compared to other startups like Rivian and Lucid. Or if he's able to change his mind, also, Tesla would benefit here. And I can see also sparks happening between China and the US with Elon Musk being in the middle. So, definitely, it should be interesting to watch. But one thing to note here, that the people who like to buy EVs did not necessarily vote for President Trump yesterday. So we're going to see how this is going to play out in the long term.
Trump's victory? Yeah, that's a win-win for Elon Musk, no matter how it plays out. As for the people buying his vehicles, that's going to be everyone. Let me speak game to you for a little bit. Tesla makes the best vehicles on four wheels. The Democrats realized that when they were virtue signaling back a decade ago. Sometime after the Model 3 was released and the Model Y was present, it became less about environmental protection and more about affordability, safety, and just pure badass functionality of a Tesla vehicle. This is what led the Model Y to be the best-selling vehicle on the planet, regardless of Democratic or Republican ties. What, pray tell, do you think will happen when they release a cheaper version of these cars, dramatically opening up the total addressable market, not just here in the United States, but worldwide? The people buying Elon's vehicles aren't going to be red or blue. It's going to be everyone, not just domestic, but abroad as well. Now, Elon's a great guy. If you read the book back there, you kind of understand there's some pros to him, there's some cons, but the overarching message is the man gets done. Kathy, go ahead and tell the nice people what they need to know about Elon Musk.
He's the inventor of our age. I think I said that in 2015 for the first time when I was on your show with Carol Masser at the time. He is the inventor of our age, and he comes into a problem, assesses it with first principles thinking, doesn't care how things have been done, and comes back with, ingenious solutions to big problems, whether it's autonomous mobility in the autonomous taxi space, healthcare space, Neuralink, social network space, X, in AI, XAI, and SpaceX, of course, the entire exploration going to Mars. I think a lot of people are can't believe he can do this. But again, he cuts to the quick, first principles thinking, and surrounds himself with brilliant people who really want to solve the hardest problems in the world. And that's part of the secret to his success. Very high standards, and people who want to be held accountable to very high standards and want to really transform the world.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, I might have mentioned something about his ability to recognize extreme opportunity and having the testicular fortitude to see it through when everyone else says you're batshit crazy. Then maybe you can express this point just a little bit better.
This is going to be known as probably the best strategic bet that Musk ever made in terms of betting on Trump. And I think, this is something that is just starting to play out in terms of this Trump-Musk sort of alliance.
Even at the beginning of the year, I did not have on my bingo card Musk hitches his wagon to Trump. But if you're looking 4 years into the future, we're talking 2028. Quite a bit is going to happen for Tesla during those 4 years. The maturation of FSD, Optimus will be getting primed and ready, probably for first deliveries by then. Peeling back unnecessary regulation hurdles, just for hurdles' sake. This will benefit Elon Musk's companies for decades to come. That's a bold move. In conclusion, we're gonna wrap this up real quick. Nissan's struggling, Rivian's struggling, but they're not the only ones. Everyone that's trying to make battery electric vehicles they're going to struggle. I'm kind of shocked that some of these ADAS systems are still relying on LiDAR and radar and all these expensive sensors when Tesla has shown them that there is a better way. I guess it's kind of like when they showed the Model S back in 2014. It did take the industry a while to catch on to that EVs are going to be the future. I suppose history does repeat itself. But the main reason why these companies are going to continue to struggle is the fact that they don't have an Elon Musk at the helm. Many individuals may have the foresight, the vision, to see what will happen in the future. But do you have the resolve to do what needs to be done? On that journey, you'll have many individuals telling you that you are crazy. That's impossible. A leader that can not only wade through that noise, but attract amazing talent toward him, allowing the best and brightest of your companies to accomplish things that no one has ever done before. This is what makes Elon special. Not his political affiliation, not his massive wealth. The secret sauce for Elon being able to manage this many successful companies is his ability to look at things from a first principle lens, ignore the status quo, and figure out a better way of doing things. This is why everything he touches turns to gold. That's all I've got for you today. Be easy. Peace.